Hey everyone, I'm Rob Aspero with the Viral Volley Podcast, and it's truly a great honor to have these former Long Beach State back-to-back national champions, All-American studs, Kyle Ensing, Josh Tuaniga, and TJ DeFalco, who are all rocking the red, white, and blue, the favorite colors we should be wearing, not the black and gold of Long Beach State. Just kidding, guys. But it's always a great time to talk to you guys, especially since you guys are all in the same team for Team USA at VNL. So I got to ask you guys about your experience in the Rimini Bubble. How has it been for you guys playing in this international tournament with the best players in the world after coming from your seasons, for Kyle in Israel, Josh in Poland, and TJ in Italy? What's it like being in this scenario? We'll start with you, Kyle.
Of course, it's always fun and exciting to come back and play for the red, white, and blue, especially in this tournament where all the best players in the world come to, and especially after your seasons, it's always exciting to see what you can do against all these top players in the world. And I think it's just super humbling and exciting to be in this tournament with all these guys.
Yep. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I think all three of us were super grateful for the opportunity we have here to represent USA. So being here and, being able to, seize the opportunities that not many have. I don't think we're taking it for granted. I think we understand that. And we really are enjoying playing against some of the best players in the world. So to be able to have that, we're truly grateful about it. Like Kyle said, it's humbling and, really blessed, I guess.
Yeah. How about you, TJ?
Yeah, like they said, it's just it's a treat every time you get to come back from your international clubs where not everybody speaks the same language. Hardly any people speak English. It really is a treat to come back to the guys that are waiting for, especially after such a long break. It's been a year and a half, year and whatever it's been, and it just feels great. It feels right again to be back with this team, training every day, in practice, all this stuff, and especially in an international setting with these guys again. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well, it's unique for you guys is there are 4 Long Beach State alum, but the 3 of you played together. How's it like for you guys to come back together on the same side of the court representing USA? And we'll start with you, TJ.
It's always a treat to come back and play with my boys on the same side of the net. It's something you look forward to, like you said, every summer. Have the chance to come back, play with some of the like my teammates here, these guys, and then also play against Jeff and play with Jeff, who we played against in college, or, some of those guys that we played against in college. And it's like, now that we were enemies before, and now we can be friends, and we're all on the same side of the net. So it's a really good treat.
Yep. How about you, Kyle?
It's always an honor to, play with these guys. I think it's even more fun that we've had so much history together and we've done so much good things together. I think it makes it just more awesome to be here,
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, you get to, you think about, a lot of these college players, once you're done with your 4 years or however many years you play in college, it's like, okay, you might not see some of these, some of your teammates, you might not, play with some of your teammates. And for us to have the opportunity to, finish those 4 years there and then play again with each other. It's, I think it's a super unique opportunity. So,
yeah. Well, I think it's crazy as I was talking to you guys and hearing your responses. I put together Craig Pizzanti's got 3 guys in his high school team on that USA roster between you, Josh, and TJ, and then Brendan, who I believe is injured at the moment. And technically, you can throw Taylor in the mix because they were living in Huntington Beach. So quite the connection there with all you guys. And then the fact that Long Beach State has 4 guys on the team, it's really cool to see. I'm going to call it the Big West representation, even though at one point it was the MPSF. So
yeah.
Now, each of you has been seeing some really good reps on the court. And although the record shows 3-3 for Team USA, personally, and me trying to be unbiased, I've been seeing some really good play from each of you. Can you guys comment on what's going on the court that's allowing you to pull those plays off and be successful at the level that you're playing at? And I'll go and start with you, Kyle.
Well, of course, going into the first couple games, you're playing, I don't know what 4 of the top 5 teams in the tournament. I think it's truly a challenge to play these teams, but it's always kind of just a thing in my mind where I just want to prove people wrong and go in there and do the best I can. And honestly, just have fun with it because I love playing this sport. And I love playing with the guys that are on this team.
Yeah. How about you, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, as hard as it is, trying to keep the game super simple and just trying to, there can be things going on in your mind with Olympics coming up and just the rest of the tournament kind of coming up. And, obviously there's we got a few losses on our, on our back. So just trying to, shed all that stuff that, is not necessary on that court and trying to put the best volleyball out there. I think that's one of the biggest focuses, I guess, we've been trying to focus on, just playing our best volleyball and just, shedding out all like the stuff that, I guess we can't control.
Yeah. How about you, TJ?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just got to realize that everyone's here for a reason, right? Everyone made this roster for a reason. And every once in a while you can get caught up in the fact that, oh man, we're 3-3, like you said, getting caught up in the numbers, which always is the thing that if you can realize it on the early side, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really mean very much in the long scheme of things. But just being able to come out here and play at the highest volleyball at the highest level, like this is the pinnacle of our sport. This is the reason we started playing volleyball at such a young age, and being able to come out here and play against the top guys in the world. Like who else is going to be able to replicate being Leon? No one.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is going to be able to replicate being Mazursky at 7-4 or whatever he is? Like no one's going to be able to do that. You only got to get that here, and so keeping it humble and then also understanding that we're all here for a reason, have fun and play volleyball and just play free and flow as the volleyball players that we are.
Yeah. Well, it's really exciting to hear, watching the volleyball world.tv streams here in the States, hearing what the announcers are saying, the British announcers, they're like, the guy Ensing, he's doing some great stuff playing behind Patch and Anderson. Not exactly like that, but I mean, okay, if they're listening, which I know they kind of scour the podcast, I apologize. Not a Aussie accent, but even just him talking about you guys and the successful careers you had internationally, because I mean, the fact of the matter is you guys did make some statements on the teams you're playing for in Italy, Poland, and Israel. So, but with that, you guys have this, you're like the next wave of the USA guys, a youth movement, because you're getting to compete alongside some of the names of the game, Anderson, Sander, Shoji, Christensen, but now you're training with them. What are your takeaways with being able to play with these guys and continue to potentially wear the USA uniform? And we'll start with you, Josh.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of going back to when we first kind of came to Long Beach, where, you're trying to learn the system, you're trying to learn how the program works. And some of these older guys are, have done a really good job with bringing us along and, helping us, feel our kind of feel, I guess. So to be able to play alongside these guys, that, truly is an honor and a great opportunity. I'm learning so much from them and learning how international volleyball is and, through their experiences and being able to navigate myself through that. It's been super helpful. So, yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
I think it's just hearing about, everyone knows these names. And it's just super exciting I've heard them throughout like my whole life, even before I started playing volleyball. I just knew about them, and being able to have this opportunity to play with them. I just want to soak in as much as I can from them and learn as much as I can. It's truly a great experience here.
Yep. How about you, TJ?
Yeah, like kind of they both said, there's always the little bit of a starstruck kind of phase. When you're in the gym for the first week, you're like, holy crap, I'm passing next to Matt Anderson, or I'm getting set from Micah Christensen, or Eric's telling me what to do on defense, something like that. There's always that little bit of a phase where it's like, wow, not really know what to do, kind of step yourself back a little bit and go into the third person a little bit, but then it turns into real fast. Hey, you're on the same court as them for a reason. You're here to do a job, right? Yeah. And now it's time to go compete. So and what's really been nice about being able to do this for a couple of years and get in the rhythm of that is that all that starstruck stuff and the names and all that stuff goes away. And now you guys are all on the same team and fighting for the same goal. Yeah. And that's just to play volleyball as good as you possibly can and mesh together as a team and find that chemistry. So it's been a blessing, and I've had the fortune of being able to be in the gym at an early stage, with Reed Pretty and something, guys like that. Super, like the guys that I watched when I was a little kid starting volleyball, watching video film and trying to emulate their game and stuff like that. But then it turns into real fast, like, hey, that kind of goes away, and now we're here to play volleyball.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. As you're responding, I was thinking about first red blue that you played in at Segerstrom High School, and you're like suiting up on the same side as Reed, and Mike is on the other side. You're blocking against man hitters. I'm like, oh, this could go real south fast. But you actually held your own. You had some highlights. I remember. I got them. So. So we're entering stage 3 or week 3 of VNL, and you guys are going to be facing number 8 Iran. Saeed Maroof and his crew, always a great setter to watch. Number 11 Serbia and number 21 Germany. What are your guys' thoughts on this upcoming weekend's matchups? We'll start with you, TJ.
My first thought about that, when you're talking about the numbers and stuff, I think the ranking system is a little bit skewed in terms of world rank, because whenever those numbers were added up, some of the guys maybe not have been on that tournament. They may have had a bad tournament or something like that. And I think every one of these teams is a top team in the world. Iran is incredible with their offense, especially with Maroof at the back of it. Germany has some incredible players that they can put. 2-3 summers ago, they came out and swept us up in Ottawa in a VNL stop in Ottawa. So I'm not putting these numbers on any of these teams. We're just going out to play these teams. So they're all very good teams. And I'm very excited about getting the chance to do that, because, like you said, there's some big names. But then also that means there's going to be some good volleyball. You get a chance to go out and with some international TV going on, and you get the chance to go out and play your ball. And releasing all that other stuff, not thinking about obviously the numbers don't mean much to me, but the big names, any of that kind of stuff, international stage, is just about going out and playing some good volleyball, because you're here for a reason.
Yep. How about you, Kyle? Thoughts on this upcoming week's matchups?
Yeah, I like that he pointed out that like the numbers don't really mean as much, because all these teams are top level. They're all brought their best players, and I think it's going to be a battle, but I think we're going to have a good turnaround after these first couple of games and really get after it. And I'm looking forward to that.
We'll close it out with Josh.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm pretty excited. I think all of us were pretty excited to, get out there again. We've had a couple of days of training, and we've been training some things that we wanted to get better at. And I think there's an opportunity to work on those things, but also to compete. And you can't take that for granted. So some pretty good teams we got in front of us. So it's just another opportunity to play good volleyball.
Yeah. I would be remiss not to ask you guys a question about it. You guys following your alma mater, Long Beach State, this last year. Obviously the last time that we saw competitive play was your last national championship, 2019, because COVID hit 2020, and we had a improvised season or an adapted season this last one. But how is it like following from the other side, seeing your team play somewhat of a full season? Were you guys keeping up in your other countries you're playing in?
Definitely trying to keep up. The time difference would mess me up a lot, but definitely keeping up. When we lose, I'm pretty pissed off. So I'm gonna clutch when we lose, but definitely proud of some of the guys that we were playing with when we were there.
Aiden Knipe has some pretty good hands versus yours there, Josh.
Hey, you know what? He's taking the reins, man.
How about you guys? They actually had some really good talent this last year, and the Big West honestly was a grind as always. Between Santa Barbara, Hawaii, Irvine, Long Beach, Northridge had some really good players. San Diego. There wasn't an easy night in the Big West for sure. Yeah. But
it was just a bummer as well that us and CSUN were the only team that had to start 3.5 weeks later than everybody else.
And they were good. That's what's crazy. They both came out hot out of the gates and were solid.
Yeah.
So have you guys talked to Coach Knipe at all in the last few weeks?
No, not as much as I wanted to.
Well, I know he's super proud of you guys, but I had to definitely ask because, it's just, it was an era at Long Beach State that was incredible to witness. And I got to see it firsthand, receive it firsthand, and then root for you guys firsthand. So, but it's always great to chat with you guys. I got Kyle Ensing, Josh Tuaniga, TJ DeFalco, formerly of Long Beach State and now of USA, playing in VNL, and looking potentially see some Olympic rosters in the future here. Maybe near future. We'll see. But hey, gents, I appreciate you taking time for a Viral Volley podcast, and always have you guys on. Always a good crew.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Viral Volley podcast. Be sure to follow Rob at Rob on the Mic on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or at robonthemic.com. Check you next time.